Hey guys, thanks for coming back to the chopping block. So people have asked me a lot to do some barrier tests for ARX, and I thought it was fairly predictable, but what I think doesn't matter. What matters is what actually happens in the gel. So let's get to it. We're going to do some 9mm and some 40 caliber ARX through a windshield. Then we're going to do 9mm ARX through steel and wood. Let's get to it.
One 617. Obviously that round broke up on the windshield before it even hit the gel. You can see that there are separate tracks here. So the claim that it breaks up entirely when it hits something hard, well, I mean, that's kind of true, but that's still a fairly serious wound. You're not safe on the other side. And by the same token, it's also not even remotely barrier blind. I wouldn't trust it for defense. It's just kind of the worst of both worlds. One, 2, 2, 7. Same story. Again, penetration in clear gel is not necessarily accurate, but for these purposes, it's close enough. It is nowhere near deep enough to be reliable for defense, but plenty deep to be dangerous. I would not count on it for anything. One 593. Okay. Well, it looks like again it broke up before it hit, but it didn't break up nearly as much. Those are much bigger chunks than they were before. I mean, windshields are pretty hard, so that's not unsurprising. Oh, wait, that's not surprising. How many negatives can we put together? One 592. There's impact. You can see it stayed together a little bit better this time. It didn't hit in several different pieces like in these previous ones, where you can see in the previous ones it was already well apart before it even struck the block. This time it was one piece when it hit the block and then broke up fairly quickly. Kind of blew this side out there. You can see the bullet back in there. It's kind of cool. So one piece was right there. Another piece. Looks like it broke into two pieces almost perfectly. Yeah, just broke right in half. That's funny.
All right, so like I said, this is pretty much what I expected from all of them, really. The windshield, obviously much harder than the steel, but both the windshield and the steel were hard enough to fragment that bullet completely before it even hit the jump. That bullet isn't very substantial. It's basically a frangible, and maybe they would be better off marketing it as close-range training ammunition. In fact, I think that that's what they should have done to begin with, instead of marketing the magical flutes that do some fairy fart fluid dynamic thing that they made up in their heads. What they should have done is they should have made affordable close-range training ammunition.